Welcome, little star. You're looking very nice and bright this evening.
Oh, well, thank you, old star. I've been working really hard on shining my brightest.
Good job. And of course, this is a really good night for us to look our best, you know.
Really? Why is that?
Because it's Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. What's Christmas?
You don't know what Christmas is? Oh, that's right. You've just novaed up. You are a brand new star, and this is your very first Christmas.
Yeah, and is it your first Christmas too?
Ha ha, me? No. I've seen over 2,000 Christmases.
Wow, 2,000. Is that a lot?
Well, no, not in star years. There are a lot of stars older than me. But I'm old enough to tell you about the first Christmas and to explain why we still celebrate it, even after all these years.
Oh, well, please explain, because I really want to hear all about it.
Oh, boy. Okay. But before I do, we have to go all the way back before the very first Christmas. And we have to travel back to a place called Nazareth.
Who's that pretty girl, old star?
Ah, that's Mary. She's lovely, isn't she? Mary is a virgin, and she is pledged to be married to a man named Joseph.
Oh, and is that Joseph? He looks like a really nice guy.
Oh, he is. Joseph is a carpenter, and he's also a very righteous man.
What is he doing?
He's building something. Carpenters are always building something.
Well, I hope it's a cradle.
Oh, I think you're getting a little ahead of our story here.
Now, who's that other guy? He kind of looks like us, all shiny and bright.
That's Gabriel. He's an angel. He has come to talk to Mary. Shh, let's listen.
Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you. Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will be with child and give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over the house of Jacob forever. His kingdom will never end.
How will this be since I am a virgin?
What does that all mean?
It means that Mary is going to have a baby who is the Son of God.
But I don't get it. What did Mary mean?
Well, she's a little confused about how this is all going to happen, being that she is still a virgin.
So how is this all going to happen?
Keep watching. Gabriel will explain.
The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God.
But that's not how these things usually happen.
No, this is very special. Listen.
Even Elizabeth, your relative, is going to have a child in her old age, and she who was said to be barren is in her 6th month, for nothing is impossible with God.
For I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said.
What did Mary say?
She said yes.
Oh, good. Now what? I like that Mary. She seems like a very sweet girl to me.
Oh, she is. They tell me that after the angel left her, Mary hurried to visit her cousin Elizabeth.
Elizabeth! Mary!
When Mary arrived, she found out that the things were just like the angel Gabriel had told her. Elizabeth was also expecting a child, a very special child, who had also been promised by God. And this baby's name was going to be John.
I bet Mary was so happy for Elizabeth. After all, here's Elizabeth, an old woman, and she's going to have a baby. It must have been a miracle.
Oh, yes. And Mary wasn't the only one who was happy. Elizabeth was happy also. Listen to what she said to Mary.
Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the child you will bear. But why am I so favored that the mother of my Lord should come to me? As soon as the sound of your greeting reached my ears, the baby in my womb leaped for joy. Blessed is she who has accomplished what the Lord has said to her. My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior. For he has been mindful of the humble state of his servant. From now on, all generations will call me blessed. For the mighty one has done great things for me.
Oh, is
his name.
Holy is his name.
Wow, that was absolutely beautiful.
Wasn't it? Mary stayed with Elizabeth for a few weeks and then returned home to Nazareth. But by now, it was more obvious that Mary was going to have a baby.
Uh-oh, what did Joseph have to say about that?
What could he say? He knew that Mary's baby wasn't his, but Joseph was a righteous man, and so he decided to put her away privately instead of turning her out into the streets, which is often what happened in most cases like this.
Hey, look at all those people. They're staring at Mary, and they're pointing at her, and they're whispering. What are they saying?
Trust me, we probably don't want to know.
But Mary didn't do anything wrong.
I know that, and you know that, but everybody else in her hometown didn't know that.
Poor Mary. Poor thing. I feel bad for her. Why doesn't somebody do something?
Watch, somebody will. God is going to do something. Not long after Joseph had decided to put Mary away where she would be safe, God sent an angel to speak to him in a dream.
Joseph said of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins.
The prophet Isaiah had foretold this many years before, saying, "The Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel," which means God with us.
Emmanuel. Wow, what a wonderful name. What did Joseph do next?
He did just what the angel of the Lord had commanded him to do. He took Mary home to be his wife, and he did not consummate their marriage until she had given birth to a son.
Consummate. Is that Jewish broth? No, wait a minute. Does that mean...
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it means.
Oh, okay. So what happened next?
Next, there was a little drama that went on in Rome. The Roman ruler Caesar Augustus ordered that everyone in the countries under his rule had to be counted.
Well, why would they do that?
Something about taxes, whatever those are. But in order to be counted, everyone had to go back where their family was from originally.
Sort of like a family reunion?
Well, a little bit, but without all those silly name tags and Uncle Harry's potato salad.
Oh, well that's too bad, because I love potato salad. And I love cookies. Did they have cookies?
I don't think so.
Well, they didn't have cookies. That wasn't much of a family reunion.
Well, actually, it wasn't. For Mary and Joseph, it was a long and difficult trip, especially now that Mary was expecting a baby.
Really? Where'd they have to go?
Well, first you have to know that Joseph belonged to the house and the line of King David.
Ooh, a king. Wow, that's really cool. I like kings. And I bet that king was born in a big, huge, beautiful palace. Is that where Joseph and Mary were going to go?
Actually, King David wasn't born in a palace. Before God chose David to be the king, he was a young shepherd boy from a little town called Bethlehem.
So Joseph had to go back to the town of Bethlehem? The town of his ancestor, King David?
That's right.
Wait a minute. Bethlehem. Isn't that the one they sing about? The one they call, "O Little Town of Bethlehem"?
Yes, it's exactly the one they sing about.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by.
That voice was so beautiful. And I love that song. She even sung about us, how the silent stars go by. Well, listen, I thought this was a story about the first Christmas. When do we get to the part about the star?
We're getting there. First, we have to hear more about Mary and Joseph.
Okay, well, let's get on with it. And I love cookies. I want those cookies.
So Joseph went to Bethlehem to be counted, and Mary went with him. But it was a long and difficult trip for them, about 75 miles.
75 miles? Come on, that's not very far, especially out here in space. My dearest star neighbor is 75 billion miles away.
You're right. For us, it's not that far, but for humans, it's different. And for a woman who is expecting a baby, it's a really, really, really long way.
Look, there they are. Mary and Joseph have arrived in Bethlehem. But you know what? Mary looks really tired. I hope they have a really nice place to stay at because I think she's almost ready to deliver that baby.
You're right again, but unfortunately, there was no room for them in the inn.
What? Wait a second. What kind of inn was this? A Holiday Inn? A Ramada Inn? A Traveler's Inn? I'm going to give them a really bad rating online.
No, not that kind of an inn. What I mean is that the whole town was full because of all the people who had come there to be counted. So instead, Mary and Joseph stayed in a humble stable where the cows and sheep took shelter at night. There Mary had her baby, and she wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in the manger.
A manger? I don't think I know what a manger is.
Well, it's a nice sturdy box where they would put feed or hay for the cattle.
But why would they put the baby in there?
It was probably the safest and best place they had for him. I'm sure that Joseph lined it with fresh and new hay and stood watch over Mary and the baby during the night.
What did they name the little baby?
They named him Jesus, which means the Lord saves. And now, for the first time, up in the eastern sky, there was a new star, one that had never been there before, announcing the birth of the Messiah.
A star, shining in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and light.
Wow, there's that beautiful voice again. Just think, a new star in the sky. That must have been so awesome and so glorious. I'm sure nobody could have missed that.
Oh, but they did. It's amazing that not only did people miss the Messiah then, but they still miss him today. Maybe it's because they just aren't looking for him. But God did not rely on just a star to announce the birth of his son. He also sent an angel to tell a group of shepherds all about it. And of course, it really frightened the shepherds to suddenly see an angel.
Do not be afraid. I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is Christ the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloth and lying in a manger.
Suddenly a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying,
Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men whom he favors.
When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told them about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told.
So that's the story of the first Christmas and the star.
Yes, but wait, there's more. Look, over there in the east.
More? Who are those guys?
Oh, they are just the three wise guys. Did I just say that? I meant they're the three wise men.
We three kings of Orient are bearing gifts, we've traveled so far.
Oh, old star, you know how much I like kings. And look, they brought presents. Who are those presents for? Do you suppose one of those could be for me and there's cookies in there?
No, no, no. Those presents are for the baby Jesus.
Well then, what kind of presents are they?
They are gifts fit for a king. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
What? Those are weird gifts. Except for the gold, of course.
Gold because Jesus is the king. Frankincense because he is the high priest. And myrrh because of his sacrifice, which was poured out for many.
Hey, where are they going? Bethlehem's over there. Hey, fellas, yoo-hoo! You're going the wrong way. The baby's over there.
They are going to Jerusalem, the big city, to the palace, to look for the king of the Jews there.
But why? The baby's over there in Bethlehem. He was born in a stable, not in a big fancy schmancy palace.
Yeah, but they made the same mistake you did. They went looking for the baby king in a palace, but they didn't find him there.
Well, who did they find?
They found an evil man named Herod, King Herod. When King Herod heard of this, he was greatly distressed, and all of Jerusalem with him. He called in the Jewish chief priest and the teachers of the law and asked them where the Messiah was to be born.
In Bethlehem in Judea, for this is what the prophet has written.
But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means among the rulers of Judah, for out you will come a ruler who will be the shepherd of my people Israel.
The evil King Herod questioned those three wise guys. I did it again. I mean wise men. About all the stars that had appeared for the very first time. And then he said to them,
Go to Bethlehem, and find this child who is to be born. And when you find him, come back and tell me, so that I may worship him too.
So the wise men went on their way, and the star they had seen in the east went ahead of them, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. And when they saw the child with his mother Mary, they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they gave them their gifts and went back to their own countries. But having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they went home a different way.
Hey, isn't that angel that we saw before?
Yes, that's Gabriel. He was sent to warn Joseph in a dream to take his family away to Egypt because King Herod wanted to kill the child.
Kill the child? Oh my, that's horrible. Well, I hope Mary and Joseph and that precious little baby boy got away.
Yes, in fact they did. They traveled to Egypt and stayed there until all of the people who wanted to kill the baby Jesus were gone themselves.
How did they know when it was safe to come back?
An angel was sent to tell Joseph.
In another dream?
Yep.
Boy, that angel sure gets around. And now, is that the whole story? Because my stomach, it's grumbling for cookies.
No. There's a little more. The child Jesus and his family traveled back to Nazareth, where he was raised, and he lived there until he started his earthly ministry at about age 30. Mary's cousin Elizabeth, do you remember her?
Yeah, I do. She's really cute.
Well, her son John baptized Jesus. Jesus was the Son of God, and he did all the things that were prophesied about him. He lived a perfect life and died on a cross for all sin, and rose again to live forever. Now he sits at the right hand of God the Father, and one day he will come to judge the world.
Wow, that's amazing. And how do you know all of this?
Well, I saw it all from up here in the sky, where we watch the comings and goings on this little planet that they call Earth. At least I saw it all from the time the first time that baby Jesus was born. For you see, I was that star that appeared that first night.
Really? You were the new star? I mean, when you shine now, you have hot flashes. Come on, you're old.
Yeah, but so is the story. It's over 2,000 years old. But it is still as true today as it was on the very first Christmas, and that's why we still celebrate Christmas today.
Well, old star, thank you so much for telling me the story of the first Christmas. I think I'm going to shine just a little bit brighter now that I know all this.
Well, you know what King David wrote? He said, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they display knowledge. There is no speech or language which their voice is not heard. Their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world."
Yeah, way to go, David. Well said. Hey, is that same King David?
Yep. King David, the ancestor of Joseph, the one who was born in Bethlehem all those years ago.
Wow, I really like that guy. He's so eloquent. He has such a good way with words.
Well, it looks like it's time for the end of our story.
Okay, so now what? The cookies, you know, I want some cookies.
We're actually going to have monkey bread, but you'll get your cookies. Don't worry.
Oh boy, okay. I love Christmas.
Me too.
Glory to God in the highest.